Okay, good morning. We are going to get started on sourdough. Everybody does theirs differently. This is what I do. I like it. So, in a largemouth jar, this is quart, you're going to put in 3.5 tablespoons of flour. Okay. To that, you're going to add 1/4 cup of unsweetened pineapple juice. Then we're just going to mix that. You're going to mix it kind of vigorously. Make sure you get all the flour. We'll scrape, scraping the bottom and the sides. Yeah, you guys. Okay. I took a piece of cheesecloth and I'm just going to screw a lid to hold that on. You want air to be able to get into it because that's what's going to feed your sourdough. So this is your starter. We are going to put this on top of our fridge for 48 hours. And then you're going to stir it vigorously 2 to 3 times a day. So I'll see you back here in 2 days. We'll start comparing, what my starter's looking like. I will continue, to stir this probably 3 times, and you just stir it fast, and we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned for the sourdough. All right, good morning. It's been day 2 for our sourdough. So we have to add to it. I have no bubbles yet, but we still got 2 more days. So today we are adding 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice. Oh, I don't even have it. All right, there we go. So I added my flour. Now 2 tablespoons of pineapple. And once we pull from this to do some baking, you're just going to start over with day 1, like what you add, and you're just going to keep adding to your sourdough starter. It will never get bad. Hopefully. I've never had it go bad. Alright, we're just going to stir vigorously. So I stirred it 3 times yesterday. I got it once this morning before I left for work. And then I will also stir it 1 more time tonight. Okay? And that's pretty much it. We're going to cover it back up. Tomorrow will be day 3. Stir it 3 more times. And we'll be back in, I think, day 5 now. We're just gonna keep, we're just gonna keep stirring it for the next 2 days, and then on day 5 we add the 5 1/4 tablespoons of flour and 3 tablespoons of water, and then we cover it for another day, and then after 24 hours we add a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of purified water. I'm just going to use a bottled water that we have here. I'm not going to go out and buy specific. And then we'll get it baked. So it would be day 6. We're going to take a cup of the starter out and we'll bake a loaf of bread with it. So it is, I like it, my husband likes it. It's not everybody's cup of tea because it is like a crunchier bread. Alright, so for our day 5, we're going to need 5 1/4 tablespoons of flour. And I forgot to mention, you have to use unbleached or bread flour. And then we need 3 tablespoons of water. It just has to be filtered. So you can take it out of your fridge. You just don't want the chlorine from the tap water in it. Okay, and we're just going to stir until it's all mixed. Now this is going to make your starter really thick. I tried to outline that, and I was just fell in a physical shock. My whole wall just fell off under me. When you were arrested, did it occur to you that people who looked up to you? I'm going to talk you through what do you do if you haven't had bubbles yet? So we're just going to so he really didn't think about what it would be like for them to find out their father. We're going to stir this. Was a serial killer. So make sure all your flour is incorporated. I'll show you tomorrow. Whatever it means does not run very deep. Today is a very historic day. Because we want this to start doubling now. We're going to see how this goes. We'll check back in 24 hours. Alright, so this is my pineapple juice starter. And as you can see, it's really bubbling. So we are going to finish it off with adding. So I am not going to take any out for discard. Maybe we should. Yeah, we're gonna go with it. So what we're gonna add to this is 1/2 cup of flour, and 1/4 cup of the purified drinking water, room temperature, And now we're going to stir it. So what we're wanting is like a very thick pancake batter in here. I'm going to add a little bit more water in there. And this is going to be, so I'm not removing any, this is kind of an experimental type starter, so if it turns out, I'll post it. All right. And then you guys can try whichever, just kind of scraping the sides down here. I am going to be using a dry erase marker now. So what we're going to do is on our jar, we're going to mark where our dough is. Like so. Now we're going to leave this on top of the fridge until it's doubled. So hopefully, since I didn't take any out, it won't come up and over, but so when it doubles in size, in growth, in theory, your starter is ready to be baked with. With the other starter that I'm doing, I'm going to be following a specific recipe where it's like a no-fail. It's very easy. This one, I wanted to see what happens if you didn't sit and remove portion of it every day and keep it in the fridge to bake with other things and whatever. And I will be doing a video of what you can use with your discard as well. But this one I just kind of wanted like a no fuss, simple starter recipe that you didn't have so much waste with. Because I know like some people, you know, with their discard, throw it in the garbage, and I'm not about that. So what I'm going to be doing is skipping discarding on day 2, which will be tonight. But this one I think is going to be ready to be baked with tomorrow. Hopefully. It's growing, it's bubbling really, really well. And I'm going to just look for it to double, and then it should look like chewing gum. Stringy, thick, but check back in later. All right, so today we are going to get started on our sourdough. So we're going to start out with, I'm going to do the measuring for you guys. I'll write this down. You need a food scale. So what I'll do is I'll just write it down on how many cups it ends up being, unless you have a food scale. So we're going to start out with water, and you're going to need 780 grams of purified water. Alright, so I'm going to get my bigger measuring bowl here, because we're already over 2 cups. So we're going to 0 that. There. So 780. So 3 and a 3 1/3. 3 1/3 cup of water. It says room temp. This is not. I just took mine out, so I'm just gonna warm it up for about a minute, probably. Okay. Now I'm gonna get another bowl. Make sure we're recording. Okay, so for flour, we're gonna need 1,060 grams. 1, 2, 3, 4, we're definitely going to need a bigger bowl for this too, because, what was that, 8? Oh my gosh, I don't remember. That's 12. So it's about 13 cups of flour, but I would probably invest in a scale. So now we need 190 grams of active starter. So this is what my starter looks like. So this was our line from yesterday, and it grew that much. Don't mind the background noise. I am what we'll do is we'll add our water in. I need a bigger bowl. Couldn't think this through. Just warming it up. Okay. So we need 190 grams. What is that, like a cup, probably? Ooh. I don't know if you can see that. It is stringy down in there. So they say that if your starter is ready, it will float. I am just gonna do and so now what I'm going to do with the leftover is I'm going to scrape it and just put it back on top of my fridge. And when I want to cook in a couple days, do some more baking with it, then I'll just feed it and then do it again. Scrape some of this down here. And this is, I'll probably put it into a clean jar as well after. Alright. So now with this, I didn't have a dough hook. We'll see if we can whisk it. We can incorporate this into the water. So it's 1 o'clock now. Okay. Now we're gonna add our flour. Oh geez, you guys can't even see. Fire my cameraman. Okay. We're gonna dump our flour in. And now we're just gonna start mixing. This is going to get messy. If you have a dough hook, I guess you could use that. I feel like a spoon. This isn't going to be pretty yet. That's going to come with a later step. And then we'll wet in our hands and stuff when we want to deal with this later. I feel like this might need a little bit more flour. Oh my gosh, I am in a pickle, aren't I? I will be getting a dough hook. I did look at Walmart. They did not have any. A dough spoon, whatever. So I feel like, oh my goodness. Well, here we go. Oh, and there's a chunk in there. Well, maybe we don't need to follow. Not selling them. as sticky. Might need a little bit more here. There we go. All right. So, this is better. Now with this, we're just going to kind of get it into a ball here. I'm going to wash my hands just to get them dirty again, but I don't want to sit and okay. This is a new recipe. Now we're going to need, this is 4 teaspoons of salt. And you're going to sprinkle it on. I'm probably not going to do this. And then you just kind of poke it down into your dough. And then it's extremely sticky yet, so we're not going to worry about too much of a ball here. Then you're going to get your a damp cloth, and we're just going to cover it and leave it for an hour. So I'm going to get a clean towel. We're just going to cover this bowl, and we're going to come back in an hour, and hopefully it will have risen. I'll probably put it over by the oven because I did cook a turkey dinner for lunch. So see you back in an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour. So now you've got to wet your hands. And we're just going to be stretching and pulling. Start at the edge of your bread. And we're just going to keep doing this until it gets into a ball. And let me get the sticky off here. And now we'll come back in an hour and we'll do it the same thing. Stretch and pull. There's no kneading involved in this. So we'll cover it and let it rise for another hour, and then we'll come back and do it again. Alright, so now we're just going to do the stretch and pull back into a ball, and then this is going to rise for for 5 hours. And I'm probably going to put mine in the oven with the oven light on, because my house is kind of cool right now. I have my door open to get some sunlight in here. I put it in a clean bowl. And then we're just going to flip this over, picking out all these chunks. I'm going to cover it with saran wrap and then the rag, and then I'm going to put it in the oven with the light on for 5 hours. And we'll be back. Alright, it's been 5 hours. And now we got to make our loaves. So we're going to have to flour lightly. And with our dough, we're going to have to cut this in half because we're going to be making 2 loaves. So just going to cut it here. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to start to stretch it here. I'm stuffing one and one's going to be plain. Okay. One. So what I'm going to do, jalapeno and cheddar. We're just going to spread the jalapenos out. Forgive my dogs. Okay. And we're just going to put some cheddar on it. And since I don't have the rising baskets, we're just going to oil 2 bowls. So they don't stick in there anymore. These are going to go in your fridge. We're going to cover them, and they're going to go in your fridge overnight. Okay, so now we're going to be just doing the fold. Oop. This is fine. We're gonna pinch it. And so with a motion here, I don't know if you can see. You take your hands, you kind of bring them in and pull under very lightly and pull it towards you. Because you want to seal your bread. Just like that. And this one is going to go, I'm going to take some flour, rub it over the top, and just smooth out your bread. And this is going to just go in this bowl. Same for the second loaf. You can go around that way. It's just pointed at here, so if you need to go down there, they won't see you. Alright, and now with this one, same thing. We're just going to stretch it out and tuck. So this one I'll probably top with everything bagel after we slit it to be baked tomorrow. You kind of want to pull it a little thin. We have a bunch of girls playing in the other room, so. And you're just going to roll. And now you're just going to do and leaving the air bubbles in is fine. Okay. Then you're going to put a little bit of flour on your hands, and you're just going to smooth out your dough. And it's going to go in the bowl. We're going to cover them. And now these are going to go in your refrigerator overnight. They can stay in for like a whole day, I guess, if you wanted to, but we want to bake these while they're chilled. Ooh, not too full. I'll re-wet my rag. Alright, so we'll see you in the morning for the bake. I don't know when it shut off, but we scored our bread, put it in here. I'm gonna bake at 400 degrees for, I'm probably gonna do 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna uncover it, lower the temp to 425, and bake it for another 10. I don't like mine sourdough too dark, but we'll see you when it's done. Alright, I'm just gonna finish out the video for my sourdough bread. So I wrote down some different things that I would do differently, or little notes or whatever. I will probably be cropping out I'll do the one sourdough without the pineapple juice just to show you. But I'll leave the recipe. I'm going to crop it out. The video is going to be super long if I don't. We preferred the starter with pineapple juice. It's a little bit sweeter. And pretty much with that, I did everything that other people that do sourdough say that you're not supposed to do. I did it. It worked out wonderfully, and it's actually our favorite. So I'm going to pull this down and show you. Okay, so this is the pineapple juice recipe. Trying to get the glare. There we go. You can pause the video, write it down. So I did not use unsweetened, and it worked out fine. It is a sweeter bread though, so heads up for that. And then this is okay. And then this is for the other one that is just with water and flour. Now I think you can use normal salt, like normal salt. You can use, you know, table salt, any type of flour, any type of spoon. I did it all just to see if it would indeed fail, and it didn't. So the leaven I didn't really get into because they wanted you to discard every day, and I felt that was very unnecessary. So if you do want to do the leaven, this is so you don't use all of your starter. So if you're only going to do, you know, like a loaf of bread, and you're going to have, you know, I don't feel you need to discard, because I didn't discard in this recipe at all, and I had plenty for us to save some to keep refeeding. So with discarding, save it in another jar in your fridge. And there are so many recipes online, on TikTok, everything like that, to do other baking with. So like cinnamon rolls, pancakes, crackers. Like, I'm going to be playing around with some of those recipes. So I hope this isn't confusing. I was very confused when I started. So for 2 loaves is up here, 1 loaf is down here. I would probably only do 1 loaf at a time, to be honest. This took a ridiculous amount of flour, and I just feel I used bread flour with this, but you can use normal flour, which is what I'm going to do, because bread flour is expensive. So, and I want to keep everything very cheap. So I put to mix all of the ingredients well. Let sit covered with the wet towel 1 hour. I would do probably 4 of the fold-in stretches. I only did, I think, the recipe I followed, they only had you doing, I think, 1. I would do 4. And I would do it, I wrote on here every 30 minutes, but you could do it every like 15 if you wanted to shorten it up, because it is a time-consuming baking day. And then I have a gas oven, and it seems that it runs warmer, so kind of watch your bread. Now, nobody could seem to agree on baking times, the people that I watched. And this is, I kind of just paid attention to what worked for my oven. So you need to cook it higher for some reason. I don't know if that's to get like the Dutch oven or whatever warm, I don't know. But just kind of start out at 450 and run it for like 30 to 35 minutes and check your bread. You know, if it's looking really, I don't know, golden brown-ish, I wouldn't run it for too much longer. And then I didn't have to take the lid off because mine baked beautifully. So I don't know. Some people are saying that they baked theirs for 20 minutes. That was not long enough. My bread was literally raw. Some people say they bake for an hour, 50 minutes at 475. Like, it was crazy and nobody could seem to agree. So just kind of go for it and don't be scared of it, because there's, like I said, there's things I'm going to be improving myself, because so I have done sourdough before, but my recipe called for like adding in yeast and it was crazy. And so I did this one and it turned out great. And I'm gonna keep baking. I made mine with jalapeno and a really sharp cheddar, and it was great, but for some reason it didn't incorporate throughout the bread. It was more at like the bottom, like third of the bread. And then I put too much cheese in and it busted out the side. But it tasted so good. And so I would like to do like blueberries and, you know, some kind of like a berry type bread. But we really, really liked the cheddar and jalapeno. I added a whole can. I wouldn't do that again. That was a little warm. But so I might make the bread if I need to use the other half of the can of jalapenos, or maybe I'd buy a jar, put it, I don't know, into a resealable container or something. But this was a lot of fun, and I love trying new things, even though I'm the type of person that if it doesn't work out, I'm too afraid to keep trying. And so I've decided I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to show you my starter here. I ended up mixing the two. Okay, so this has the hooch on top. Some people removed it. It's just the alcohol from the bread and water. I'm not removing it. I'm going to feed this one today. But I did mix both of mine together, and I'm not doing discard right now. I'm going to be trying there's a brownie recipe that I saved on my TikTok, and if you guys are interested in me doing a couple of those recipes with you on here, I'm more than happy to do it. But I'm just going to take what I need for the recipes out of this, and I'm just going to keep this going. If you are going to be gone, put it, you know, a lid on it and put it in your fridge. It can stay in your fridge unfed for a while. You don't want to neglect these too long because they will go bad. I don't know. I've never, this is like a friendship bread, right? And I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you know what that is. And it's just like something that you just keep feeding and it just never goes away. And eventually I was like, I'm done doing this for now. And so I just threw the starter, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And so now I'm just going to keep feeding this, and which I'm going to do, I'll probably go back, honestly, with the pineapple juice one. I really enjoyed that, and I have extra pineapple juice in here. I've been adding it to my kombucha, the pineapple juice, just for a different flavor. I've done it before. We really like it, so it's just a way to use up the pineapple juice. And then I'll probably just go back to the half a cup of flour and the quarter cup of water. Well, it's a little bit more than a quarter cup, but just remember, you want your starter to be, you don't want it too watery. So if it's a little on the thicker side, you'd rather have it a little thicker than a little watery. You want like a really thick consistency in here. I haven't stirred this one in a while. I haven't decided on a name for mine. I guess that's the thing you're supposed to do, is name it. I haven't decided what I want to do. But I hope you guys like this video. I have been just extremely burnt out and worn out, and I'm trying to get that, improved somewhat. But so if I do a lot of rambling or I just don't seem like I'm enjoying it, that's not it. I feel like I'm so over winter, and I want spring to come, and I want to be out in the sun, and I'm just so worn out for some reason. This has been an extremely long winter. Supposedly we're getting more snow this weekend. I don't know, but all right, I'm gonna close this out so I can get this edited today and get it up for tomorrow. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week and weekend, and like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you need something explained more, or if you've done this and maybe any tips or tricks that you've learned. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.